I'm Natalie from Girls Slimming and Beauty Equipment, and today I'm going to show you how to use our LipoSlim 2.0 machine. I've got my beautiful friend Kim here with me helping out for this demonstration, so thank you so much, Kim. Okay, so when you get started, your client's going to come in and they're going to say to you they want their whole body done. Okay, with this machine we can't do a whole body treatment at once, so we're going to start by targeting problem areas. So what is a problem area? Most of us women, the whole body's a problem area. Okay, so how we figure that out is when you're putting on your clothes, what are the areas that make you feel uncomfortable? When you're shopping, what are you looking for to cover? I know that sometimes my tummy is a problem, so I will look for loose shirts that I can tuck into pants but covers that up. So that would be an area that I would want to treat. Hips and bum for some people. Some people have a very small upper body but then carry their weight on their hips and bum. So that's another area. But you need to ask your clients what are they battling to cover. Another area which is not something that you would think is bra straps at the back. A lot of ladies feel like they look good in the front, but when they turn around they've got this like bulge near their bra strap. So that's also treatment that might seem not like a big weight loss area, but it's something that affects you when you're getting dressed or makes you feel a little bit insecure about yourself. So it's a good area to start with. Once they've done these 6 sessions, they can then move on to a different area. If your client is a tiny person like Kim, they can have 2 or 3 sessions, and you should be able to resolve the problem in that area and move on to another area. A person like me or your average person would need 6 to 12 sessions, and then bigger people would need 12 to 24 sessions, obviously depending on their size, how long they've been overweight. The longer that you've been overweight, the more stubborn your fat cells are going to be. Okay, when they come in, you're going to take their measurements. So you're going to measure them depending on the area before the treatment and after the treatment. In your manual, you will get a measurements form where it has a section for the date, a section for the area that you're treating, and then a section for before treatment and after treatment. Okay, so depending on the area that you're going to treat, if you're doing the stomach, you're going to measure 5 centimeters from the belly button up, use a perimeter marker, make a line. 5 centimeters from the belly button down, use a perimeter marker, make a line. You're going to make sure that you measure on that line every single time they have a treatment, because if you don't, if you go from here to here, your treatment results are going to vary. Okay, and it's not going to be accurate. If you're doing the arm, you'll find the center of the arm, so you can even measure if you need to, but generally you can tell the center of the arm and you will just do a measurement there. If you're doing their thighs, you will ask your client to stand straight and relax. You will find the biggest part on their thigh, which most of us ladies have a small little lump over there. Kim doesn't because she gyms a lot. But that's where you'll measure. You'll take that measurement and put it down on the notes form. If they are struggling with weight over here, then you will measure here, but only if that is a specific problem area. Otherwise you will be focusing more on the upper thigh and back. Okay, and then the bum, we will just go around the middle of the bum to the front and measure over there. Okay, once you've got your client's measurements, you're going to ask them to lie down. Please make sure that your clients have had a glass of water prior to treatment and that they've been to the loo before their measurements. Okay, you're going to get your client comfortable on the bed. Please remember that when people are coming in, they are coming here because they don't like their bodies. They are not coming here with a lot of confidence, otherwise they wouldn't be spending this type of money on a treatment. So I like to try and relate with my clients. If I can see that my problem area is similar to what their problem area is, I'll show them my stretch marks, show them my loose skin, make them realize that you can still look good in clothes, but it doesn't mean you're perfect underneath. None of us are. Well, none of us that have had children. So yeah, just make sure that your client is comfortable, that they feel like they're in a safe environment. Make sure that they're covered up, that they have privacy, And if you've got a happy client that enjoys their time with you, they will come back. Also, be friendly and happy and kind. There's nothing worse than going to a salon and getting a therapist that's like, what area do you want to do? That's not what they're wanting. They already have anxiety coming to you. They're already feeling self-conscious. They're exposing themselves to you. So you need to make them feel warm, comfortable, invited, safe. Okay. If you don't have that happening in your salon, you might as well close down. If a client is not feeling like they want to come back, something's wrong and you're not going to succeed. So I stress that that is very, very important. Okay. Can stop it now. Okay, so to start the laser lipo treatment, we are going to start with our vacuum suction. The laser lipo treatment is an hour long. You divide it up into 3 time segments, but please keep in mind you need to leave time for your measurements, for the client to get undressed, for the client to take off their jewelry, to cover them up, to clean gel in between. So normally we do the vacuum for about 12 minutes, okay? So you will see that we have the setting, all the different settings and handles over here. We're going to push vacuum, okay? On the left hand side we have a column which is your suction column, and then on the right hand side we have your release column, and then at the bottom here is your RF. Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this up just before halfway, and then your time we're going to drop down to 12 minutes. Okay, and your RF a couple of bars up. Okay, in your manual you will have the exact settings. Please make sure that your client understands that they may have a little bit of bruising from this treatment. If they are doing this treatment and not telling their spouse, then you need to do this treatment on a very low setting. Otherwise, you can actually skip it and go straight onto cavitation. But most clients don't bruise. I'd say 1 out of 5 people do get a bit of bruising from this. Okay, you're going to set your machine to those settings, and then ask your client how they are feeling. If they are feeling comfortable, you can turn the settings higher. If they are feeling like it's too tight, then you're going to drop the settings. Okay. I like to use this tissue oil. It's actually from Checkers and Pep. It's about 22 Rand a bottle. It's a huge saving. We really don't want to be using expensive massage oils for this treatment. It's literally just being used as a slip, and it's going to be wiped off in 12 minutes time. So please don't go and waste your grapeseed oils or anything too fancy for this. Any sort of tissue oil will be fine. Okay, and this smells really, really great. Okay, so you're just going to warm it up on your hands. I've got my ring on, but normally you would take your rings off. Okay, sorry, cold hands. Okay, and you should warm your hands before putting your clients through something like this. Okay, so just a little bit, can probably add a bit more. And please remember, you cannot use ultrasound gel with this head. It will get sucked into the pipe and it will then need to be sucked out, which I will not do. Okay, so please remember, tissue oil only with this head. A little bit far. How do you feel? Okay, with the vacuum. So there's no particular direction that you need to do this treatment. You just move it around and you can actually see where it has sucked. So you'll make sure that you cover the entire area and put a bit of suction on there, give it a little bit of pull, and you'll hear the machine releasing. You okay? That's painful. So you'll see where Kim has a little bit of looser skin, it pulls a little bit harder. Where the skin is firmer, it doesn't pull as much. So on clients, you'll normally find if you have any older clients coming in that have got like sensitive or like thin skin, you've got a lower setting. Normally bigger people have a tighter and firmer, harder skin. Okay, so you can turn your settings quite high. Anyone that's got a bit of loose skin, you will then keep those settings a bit lower on that area. Okay.
Can you adjust the settings?
Yes.
Mid
Yes. So what you can do is, if you want to do half the stomach on, let's say, the setting that I was doing now, where it pulls and it releases quite easily. You see there? If I do it on her skin, when you release it, it pulls a bit. What you could do is do the beginning of the treatment at the top, and do the bottom. You just lower your suction settings and keep your release time the same, and you'll see it will suck. There's less of a suction. Okay. Okay, and that's that. There's no specific direction. You just need to make sure that you do cover the whole surface area of the area that you're treating. Okay. What this is doing is it's pulling apart the stubborn fat cells from each other, and it's engorging those fat cells, ready to now be broken down by the sound waves. Okay. So the next treatment is 40K cavitation. 40K cavitation is sound waves that are going into the body, and it's causing a friction and a vibration between the fat cells. Now, it's mimicking doing any sort of cardio or running or cycling. As you move in your body, your blood is circulating, your fat cells are moving, they're bashing against each other, small particles are breaking down and going into your blood system. With that, your core temperature is rising, you start to sweat, it's melting down those fat cells. Your sound waves are mimicking that by creating that movement. Although your body is not moving, your blood's now circulating, your fat cells are now bashing against each other and starting to break down. We then follow the treatment with your radio frequency, which is heat waves going in, melting down the broken fat cells. So that's mimicking your core temperature rising and forcing you to sweat and sending it through to your lymphatic system. Okay. Next up, we will be doing the 40K cavitation, like I just said. So cavitation, we will turn this right the way up, just before the top, and we will take this down to 20 minutes. Okay, and then we will use ultrasound gel. What I did was I keep my ultrasound gel in a little pot. I'm just going to grab a spoon. And I microwaved it a little bit. You have to use proper ultrasound gel that has a transmitter in it, and not just any lubricant jelly. It has to be proper ultrasound gel for the best effects. Okay. So what you will do is you'll pop a little bit onto your clients. I hope it hasn't cooled down too much. Okay. Please warn your client that there will be a bit of a ringing sound in their ears. It's totally normal. That's the sound waves that are going into the body. And on the first session, it can be quite daunting. It's quite loud, but it kind of becomes background noise, and it stops bugging them after the first treatment. Take a bit of the coldness off it before putting it on your client, and then you push start. Far away here. So you can hear as you put the ultrasound gel on it, you will hear it gets a bit louder because it's creating the transmittance. Can you hear it in your ears? Okay, so Kim's right now experiencing a buzzing in her ears.
Sounds like crickets.
Yes. And those are the sound waves. Okay, so just slow movements, circular movements, a little bit of pressure, but not to the point where you're pushing into their stomach and making them feel uncomfortable. And then you will move around the stomach. Okay. This head does warm up ever so slightly, so the treatment does become a bit more enjoyable for the client after a few minutes. And some people say it feels like a hot stone massage after a while. Okay. what you will do is just keep doing these slow circular movements with a little bit of pressure for the full 20 minutes. But once you've done a full circulation of the stomach here, what you will do is then pull down towards the lymph glands. Okay, so you're just helping those fat cells, the broken down fat cells, get towards the lymph glands and just trying to speed up that process a little bit. Okay. Another way of doing this treatment is by just holding it down a bit longer, and then moving it. So you would do it this way if you were doing somewhere like next to the knee. A lot of people carry a fat pocket right next to the knee, so you can actually just use the stamp method when doing areas like that where you can't move around. But with the stomach, it's quite nice to just keep it moving and helping the movements a little bit. Okay, and that's your 40K cavitation. You cannot hurt anybody with doing this treatment. It should never be sore. If the clients are saying, oh, it's feeling like it's stinging a little bit, it means your ultrasound gel is running out, you need to add more. Okay, and that's that. Okay, the next treatment that we're going to do is going to be your tripolar treatment. Okay, and that's, like I said earlier, your heat waves. You don't need to wipe your client down because you're going to be adding some more gel onto them. This treatment does require quite a bit of gel, but what you can actually do, you can put a bit on your client, but you can actually just pop it into the center of the head over here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to come and look for the setting over here. The setting is the tripolar RF. We're going to turn it up to like 4 or 5 bars, and we're going to turn this down to 15 minutes. Now you're going to start it, and depending, I've done the wrong thing. You're doing the RF body, which is also tripolar, but you're using the body one. Sorry, I put on the facial probe. Okay. 15 minutes. Okay. So there we are. You can see it's turned on. You're going to ask your client how they feel, and then you can either turn it up or turn it down. Remember that everybody has different nerve endings. So some people love a hot bath, some people like a cold bath. Some people love to be tickled, some people hate it. Some people like being massaged, other people hate it. So depending on your clients and their nerve endings, their sensitivity, you're going to adjust this treatment to suit them. There's no correct setting. Okay, how do you feel?
It's warm. It's not uncomfortable in any way. No,
that's fine. If the client says, oh, it's warm, but like it's not that warm, you can then turn it up. Okay, but don't take them past where they're comfortable, because if your client doesn't enjoy the treatment, they're not going to come back. You don't ever want your client to be in pain. Okay, again, it's circular motions, but a little bit faster this time. And once you've done a round circle, you will also pull down towards the lymph glands, but try and not go too slow, because sometimes the heat can make the client feel a bit almost like, not that they're getting burnt, but it feels a little bit too hot if you keep it too still for too long. Okay.
Same as you do with a hot stone. You
Yes.
don't move it fast enough and it'll burn your clothes.
Exactly. Okay, so circular motions, up and down. There's no correct way. Just the main thing is just to keep that movement going, keeping it on the skin, keeping it moving fast, and making sure that your client is comfortable. Okay. By the end of the 15 minutes, this gel is almost completely absorbed. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop there. to clean Kim up here, and then we are going to put the laser diode pads onto her. The laser diode pads are not a must, so you don't have to offer it as a treatment. It can be an extra, so you can offer this laser lipo treatment, and then you can have an additional cost for the diode pads if clients want them. Otherwise, you can add it. It's totally up to you and your salon and how you want to offer your treatment. But keep in mind that the laser lipo itself is an hour already, so having the diode pads on afterwards would be an additional 20 to 30 minutes after that hour. So I do recommend adding it as an extra cost that they can add onto their package. You also have the sauna blanket treatments, which you can offer them instead of the diode, or all three, but then it becomes a 2-hour session. So an hour for the laser lipo, half an hour for the diode, or 20 to 30 minutes for the diode, and then 20 to 30 minutes for the sauna blanket. Keeping in mind, when I say 30 minutes, that's including them getting dressed and undressed, or undressed and dressed. Okay, and the time for you to pop the pads onto them. Okay, so their skin doesn't have to be perfectly clean. In the manual I have said clean the skin, but that's more if they've just come in directly for that treatment and you just want to make sure that they are clean. But after having an hour of this treatment, their skin is clean. Okay, so you don't need to clean it too much if they've had the lipo prior. Okay, please remember after each client, your handles, your pads, everything needs to be wiped down, and then no chemicals used on the handles themselves, but a little bit of a Dettol with some water on a cotton pad, wiping down everything, just sanitizing, getting any germs off, especially during these times. Okay, where are my straps? Okay. Goodness, I'm going to leave that one there. Okay, so your straps can be added onto each other to make them bigger, to fit different areas and different clients, different sizes. Okay, I could probably just use one for Kim, but okay, so I'm going to pop this underneath Kim. Okay. That doesn't have to be tight on her or feel uncomfortable, but normally by now your client's already needing the loo. Okay, so we don't want to put too much pressure. We are going to come to the machine and we are going to choose laser lipolysis. Okay, we're going to turn it up all the way to full. We're going to put it on for 20 minutes because we need the 10 minutes for getting your clients undressed, or will she already be on bed but wiping down, popping the pads in, and then it gives some time for her to get dressed afterwards and go to the loo before measurements are taken. Okay, when you push start, you will see that they all light up. Now you can use the pads, you can use these small little pads on arms or on the area next to the knee. Any areas that are difficult to put a big pad, you can use the small ones, but generally you're going to use the bigger ones on the tummy. Okay, I'll just pop one underneath there. She's so tiny that we probably could use small ones. Okay, then what you can do is you can actually use the small one and put it on the sides. Okay. Oh, they're all sliding out because we have like some rib bones here and on the skinny legs. Okay, so you'll just keep her like that. You can, if you've got a spare towel or blanket on hand, you can just cover it over, keep her nice and warm, and that is how you leave her for the 20 minutes. Okay, no need for you to be fussing or checking or doing anything. You can just let your client relax. Okay, so once this is done, your client's going to jump up, they're going to go through to the loo, use the lure, and then come through, and that's where you're going to take your after measurements, okay? And again, in the exact same place. If the permanent marker has rubbed off from treatment, please make sure that you do the measurements again and make sure that you are measuring in the correct place, okay? To put it off, again, just stop and exit. Okay, and that is your laser lipo treatment with diode pads. Okay, so remember, can be 2 treatments. If you would like to do a cellulite treatment, your client can buy themselves a derma roller, and you can do 5 minutes rolling on each leg. When you roll with the derma roller, you roll up and down, you roll up and down that way, and then horizontally, okay? After rolling for 5 minutes on each leg, you will then just use your radio frequency and do 15 minutes of massage, and at the end, a quick lymph massage, which you can use a cellulite cream for, but if you don't have a cellulite cream, I have put a recipe for 2 different cellulite creams in the manual. If you don't want to make up your own creams, then you can just use Ingram's menthol cream. It gives quite a nice burn. It does actually help with sweating as well, so we found that that works quite nicely. Okay, and then with your facial probes, this probe over here, which is your RF face, you'll see if I turn it up, you'll start on a low setting. We'll take it down to 20 minutes because that gives you, or even 15, between 15 and 20 minutes. It gives you time for your client to come in for you to wash their face, but do try and get them to book with no makeup on. That will pop on. That is for chubby cheeks, chubby necks. You will make sure the client's face is clean, put some ultrasound gel on, and then upwards movements, okay? For 15 to 20 minutes, clean the gel off, give them another quick clean of the face, put some moisturizer on, and that's that treatment. Again, it is for chubby cheeks, chubby neck, sagging cheeks, sagging neck. It helps with tightening and firming, but mostly for the chubbiness, okay? The smaller one, exactly the same settings as we've just done now, which is your tripolar RF. Oh, sorry, I've opened the wrong one. Your tripolar RF. Start it on a low setting, ask your clients how comfortable they are, 15 to 20 minutes again. And this little guy over here, what he does is helps with tightening and firming the wrinkles, helps with pigmentation as well, blood circulation, and also helps with acne. So if your client has any cystic acne, you can treat that and break down that cystic acne that's underneath. Okay, and that's that. Thank you so much. Enjoy.